All right, let's get into this Guthrie Psyop that's happening right before our very eyes. A big charade and the rules put on by a whole host, a series of crisis actors designed to distract us from a lot of the things that's coming out in these files right now. So, in this clip, apparently they had detained some guy. He looks to be of Hispanic descent. So they have somehow detained this guy, come up with a whole story surrounding that. And then you could just tell by the guy's just mannerisms, he's just a bad actor. He's just acting, even when you get to the end of this clip, where he just, the way he shoos the media off, it just seems feigned and contrived, right? But yeah, we gonna get into it, man. But everything you're about to witness right now is merely political theaters, Hollywood, smoke and mirrors, just complete crisis actor, like theater. That's all it is. Let's get into it.
Patel and the handling of this Nancy Guthrie investigation, which I understand it's ongoing and it is a crazy situation. But you would think that if we're going to live in a world with Nest and Ring cameras that are surveilling everyone and cell towers and all of this surveillance technology, the ability to get into anybody's phone, that somebody can't just be kidnapped, disappeared, and completely unfound with the full force and weight of the United States government in trying to find this person. And yet, that seems to be the case. In a crazy development, a couple days ago, the FBI said, oh, we found a person of interest, and the police were rushing to go in and arrest this person. That person turned out to be a DoorDash driver who apparently was released again by the PD, by the FBI, with no, acknowledgement or whatever, not saying that he had anything to do with the crime. And he's speaking out after his treatment. Let's take a listen.
Carlos, so sorry to bother you, man. What's your first and last name so we can get it right?
Carlos Palazuelos.
Okay, and you...
Everything you're about to see from this guy is complete acting. Like, just watch.
You were apprehended for questioning. How would you describe what happened to you?
Terrifying. Something I didn't do for something. I was being like, I felt like I was being kidnapped, bro, because they didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
And investigators showed up to this house, or were you the one who was pulled over in the traffic stop?
I was the one that was pulled over at the traffic stop.
Where was that?
Right here on.
And this whole scenario is meant to resemble an ICE style, Gestapo style scenario in order to, again, shift focus from not only the Epstein files, but this PSYOP is actually shifting focus towards another big issue, which is the immigration issue and the whole ICE issue.
By Chubasco.
Okay, and you were taken into custody at that point?
Yeah.
And you were
I was being detained.
Detained, okay.
I was detained the whole time.
Okay,
That's
where?
what they told me.
Where were they holding
the
you?
back of a car.
Back of a
Miranda car, and then they moved me into a Pima County sheriff.
Were you being questioned in the car?
At the Miranda car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me for my first name, my last name, my date of birth, and my social.
Okay. What were they asking you about?
Where my whereabouts.
Okay.
Where do I work? Where was I? And all that. But
are you ever up in Tucson?
yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay. Do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know. Might have been a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you may have? Did they indicate that you might have been on her property? You're not sure.
Nah, they just came up. They. Until right now, all I know is that they show my in-law a picture of somebody wearing a mask or something, and they supposedly look like my eyes.
Right.
All right. Like, now we been called this. We been said this was a bunch of bullshit when we first seen the images of when we first saw the images that Cash Patel released of the suspect outside the Nest camera. And he was completely covered head to toe. You couldn't even see his skin. Couldn't even see. Even the skin around his eyes looked like he had on a secondary mask. So we already, and the fact that the media was trying to convince us that somehow information could still be gleaned from the image, the completely covered image we saw, was a bunch of bullshit. But again, he just stated that they said they identified him by his eyes. Like, how is that even damn possible? Like, why aren't more murders and more robberies and other cases being solved by just eye sketches alone? Like, let's be real.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
Okay. Jeez. How do you think they connected that case to you?
Go ask them, bro.
Okay, so
That's
then,
something you got.
And he's feigning frustration. This is all feigned frustration. Like, you know, this is all feigned.
I asked them. I can't answer that question.
did they take anything from your house tonight?
Nah, I don't know. All I can say is they took my phone.
Took your phone.
Right.
You don't have your phone right now. Okay. What else? What else happened?
That's it. That's all I can say. Like I said, I'm done with the questions, bro.
Yeah.
Can you just let us?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, he went on. They grabbed.
That's his ending. Just seems so fake. Just watch how he ended the interview. Like, he doesn't even seem like a person who has had all of this done to him. Like, nothing comes through in that. That's the thing about crisis acting. Like, they fail to evoke the true emotion of an event. Like, this shit is crazy.
I don't know. All I can say is they took my phone.
Took your phone.
Right.
You don't have your phone right now. Okay. That case to you.
Go ask them, bro.
Okay, so
That's
then,
something you gotta.
Hey, listen,
jeez. How do you think they connected that case to you?
Go ask them. Picture of somebody wearing a mask or something, and they supposedly look like my eyes.
Right. Okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
Okay. Jeez. How do you think they connected that case to
Now, they went and picked this dude up because somehow his eyes matched the eyes that the Nest camera picked up. Like, come on, like this is nothing but outrageous and audacious, just pageantry put on right before our very eyes. This is one of the worst psyops ever conducted.
Go ask them, bro.
Okay, so
That's
then,
something you gotta ask them. I can't answer that question.
did they take anything from your house tonight?
Nah, I don't know. All I can say is they took my phone.
Took your phone.
Right.
You don't have your phone right now. Okay. What else? What else happened?
That's it. That's all I can say. Like I said, I'm done with the questions, bro.
Yeah.
Can you just let us?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, he went on.
I'm done with the questions, bro. Can you just let us sleep? Like, come on, man. That shit just sounds so fake and phony.
They grabbed him out of his car after DoorDash.
Jeez.
He said they didn't read him in his rights for 2 hours.
Jeez.
I mean, what? Because it looked like his eye. Here's the thing. Look, should police go and talk to people who are persons of interest? Or maybe, yeah, you should. You follow up on a tip. Fine. That's reasonable. But look at the way that this all went down. And what's worse is calling back.
As a matter of fact, shouldn't somebody like him that's actually in a predicament in a circumstance like that, shouldn't they want to talk to media, get it out there? Like, the fact he act like they're paparazzi badgering him about his latest pick in Vogue magazine is like, is a level of bourgeoisie here that just isn't typical of people who are actually in those circumstances.
Back to the Charlie Kirk thing, or God, what was the brownie?
Please don't mention the Charlie Kirk thing. That's the event that opened my eyes up to paramilitary forces acting under our nose, committing murders, assassinations in broad daylight in some cases. That situation right there really opened my eyes up to all this shit.
University, MIT assassination and all that happened, is they're always waiting for a break in the case where the criminal makes a mistake. But the justification of this whole surveillance state, it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah. And in fact, they're frequently basically leading off before something happens and trying to make it seem like they're doing such a great job. Here's Kash Patel. He was on Sean Hannity before this entire thing went down. Let's take a listen.
I know the FBI played a very big role in being able to retrieve this tape. Can you give us some background on how you were able to do that?
And because President Trump delivered these great partnerships with these private sector companies, we were able to execute lawful searches and go to these private sector companies and expedite results, and then go into their systems and actually excavate material that people would think would normally be deleted and no one would look for. And basically, without getting into too many of the details, that's how the FBI works.
This dude's behavior doesn't make any sense. How did somebody with this intelligence pull off one of the most high-profile kidnappings, supposedly, of our time? Let's get right.
Work with our private sector partners to pull out material that people thought didn't even exist because of the specific type of subscription service on the Ring doorbell. But thanks to this brilliant partnership, we were able to get it out, sharpen it with our
Fool, you supposed to come with all of that. You supposed to have surveilled the place, understood the assignment from Jump Street, brought what you needed to cover up whatever cameras you needed to cover up, and then go from there. This last minute on the fly adjusting, you can miss me with this unbelievable farce of a fucking psyop.
technical capabilities at the FBI and put it out to the world.
Do you believe there are people of interest now? Have we gotten to that point? Are there potential
Fuck, this nigga got in his hand mistletoe. Like, what the fuck? What's this, around Christmas time? Like, what the hell?
suspects now out there?
Sean, without,
Let me guess. That's supposed to look like cilantro. I mean, what the fuck?
including the investigation, I will say we have made substantial progress in these last 36, 48 hours thanks to the technical capabilities of the FBI and our partnerships. And I do believe we are looking at people who, as we say, are persons of interest.
Now, this the guy who they say they identified just right there with his eyes. Like, this the guy who the FBI said, let's go back to him. Oh my goodness. They identified this fool right here by his fucking eyes. He's nothing but a crisis actor. Don't be fooled by this shit. But nah, that's crazy, man. Look at this shit.
Now, have we gotten to that point? Are there potential suspects now out there?
Sean, without, polluting the investigation, I will say we have made substantial progress.
Look at that shit. Come on, how the fuck you out? These people really think you fucking stupid. This is why they allow LGBT trans teachers teaching your kids, because they want them so confused, dumbed down, and distracted from who the fuck they really are that they can't see through shit like this.
Progress in these last 36, 48 hours thanks to the technical capabilities of the FBI and our partnerships. And I do believe we are looking at people who, as we say, are persons of interest. But as you know, with any investigation, you are a person of interest until you're either eliminated or you're actually found to be the culprit or the culprits involved. And that's...
What about that says that... What about that connects his identity to the guy we just saw? What about that? What is it? What are the FBI gotta do better at running psyops. This FBI is the worst at psyops. Like somehow this director right here, he just don't get it. I'll run better psyops than him.
The stage we're at right now.
That interview was almost 36 hours ago, and that's the only person of interest of anybody who has yet been questioned by the FBI, or at least as of what we know. Okay, look, maybe things are moving behind the scenes, but it doesn't seem to be. And I feel for this family. It's so crazy. Also, honestly, it's terrifying.
Yeah, save your feelings, bro, because that family is A-OK, I promise you. There's nothing wrong with that family. You see how they was saying Savannah Guthrie, her desperate plea for a mother pretty much mimic the lady from Silence of the Lambs. Like, I might even squeeze that clip in here.
From that bigger point of, oh my God, for all the talk of all the budgets and surveillance. It's like, if they, if you just are an amateur guy, what some of the analysis I've seen here in that Nest camera footage, he took flowers and he was trying to cover up. This is not a professional. It seems to just be some dude. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe they hired maybe it is some professional ring or something. But like, it wasn't a crack team that seemed to be the people that were behind this. And if that's all it takes, and they still can't find you after a week, that's really scary.
Yeah.
And so and especially with these people who are at the top, where he's like, oh, we have a person of interest. That's the person of interest. I just showed him to you. He's a DoorDash driver.
And they gotta listen. I know I appreciate attempts at transparency, but like, you had the whole nation thinking that you really had someone.
Yeah.
Even I don't know why it's like Lucy with the football, because we've seen this play before. Like, oh, we got him. We've got a person of interest. Everybody, it's moving. And then it just turns out to be some random dude. I mean, we saw this multiple times with.
She just don't know how right she is. We done seen this play ran so many times with JFK, MLK, shit, you name it.
Charlie Kirk investigation. So I feel so bad for this guy too, because since he was sort of put on blast like this, now he's in the spotlight, having to answer all these questions, having his privacy invaded, etc. I also want to know, like, how did they identify this guy? What were the flags here?
Wow, she gets a clue. And I'm watching this as his plan too. So
probably a tip, right? Somebody called in. I don't know. And listen, I don't want to discourage people from calling in tips, because apparently that's the only way that the shit ever gets solved.
And like you said, they should if there was something there where they're like, his eyes kind of look like it, and someone called in, they were worried about the suspicious vehicle in the area, whatever. Yeah, you should talk to him, but you shouldn't.
The shit doesn't make sense because it isn't a real event. Like, you can make it make sense, and that's what they are hoping you guys do. When they put information out there, they hoping that people like this make it make sense, and they run with the next phase of the narrative.
Announced to the nation, including, family members and people who know and love this woman, that we're onto something, and give them false hope. I think it's just incredible incompetence and frankly egotism, because he just wants to be able to say, I'm the big guy and we're on it. And yeah, exactly.
Let's go to the last part just to show you I don't want to let the sheriff's office off the hook either. I've been talking with some of my friends who follow this investigation very closely. They're always like, this sheriff's office is not ready for prime time in terms of the way that they've given details and talked and generally been reactive. There was a crazy situation. Let's put this video up here on the screen, where apparently some member of the media who was outside of the Guthrie household had ordered a pizza, and somehow the delivery driver was able to walk all the way to the front door to deliver the pizza, and apparently walked out now. And they, as we saw, ended up being.
And all the media personnel there, nobody stopped them and say, hey, nobody's in there to even order a pizza, come back. So this is nothing but a staged photo op. Like, this guy is allowed, out of all these cameras watching his house, this guy is somehow allowed to falsely deliver a pizza that's meant for one of the media personnel that got 100 cameras aimed at that house to walk past undetected and walk back. And the camera's on him, probably the time he went in and the time he came out. Like, this shit, come on now, like.
Intended for someone in the media along the street, but it's like this, there was no securing of the scene or any of that. Like, it was very, very bizarre.
So this right here is supposed to speak about the scene not really having no security, and basically, they want you to believe that how easy it is for somebody to come up and take her. Like, this is somehow supposed to suggest this piece of guy running through to the front door, coming back with a pizza, is somehow supposed to suggest that this environment is so unsecure that this thing that they're trying to make you believe is indeed possible.
They was able to get this close, and a lot of the people who were there and present at the household were thought that this was extraordinary. They're like, I've literally never seen anything like this, and I can't believe that the scene wasn't better secured. The sheriff's office ended up blaming it on the media, saying, please don't order pizza to this, which I get both sides, but I'm more just, I don't know. It's very, you know, it's sad. You like to think you have some belief in authorities, but it's when you see it in practice in a high stakes situation, you really see.
That's another thing. Why pizza? Like they are really playing with us. Like, this was a pizza delivery. Like, come on, y'all. They see we're not really reacting or doing anything to the discovery of the Epstein file, so now their rituals is just getting more embrazened and boldened.
How little they can really do for you.
If you're gonna get the Panopticon, and we're all
Yeah, I know.
at least
save
you
us.
could be able to save this poor woman.
Yes.
And I'll just say on a personal, you know, when I worked at MSNBC, I did meet Savannah a few times. Nicest lady, could not be a kinder person
She seems
in person, and you know.
Total operative, total Splinter Cell, total undercover operative. I swear.
This shouldn't happen to absolutely anyone.
Allegedly, in my opinion.
But it is
Everything I've said in this video is allegedly in my opinion.
incredibly heartbreaking to see what they're going through. So we're all praying that her mother is returned safely and that this whole thing is brought to a close.
Yep. Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps.